There are truths that no one wants to face, and this is one of them. Diogenes, the philosopher who dared to mock the world itself, was unafraid to reveal what many prefer to hide. Masturbation isn't the innocent act we've been told. It's a psychological trap that leaves invisible wounds. The worst part is that these scars aren't visible in the mirror, but they are felt deep within the mind. Have you ever wondered why, after doing it, there's that uncomfortable silence, that strange emptiness you can't quite explain? It's not just coincidence. It's your brain revealing the true cost of what you've just surrendered. Every impulse that feels like liberation actually tightens the chains a bit more. That's the brutal truth Diogenes warned about. Easy pleasures always come with a price. The fascinating part is that this isn't only about physical acts. It's about how they impact your willpower, erode your energy, and train you to crave immediate gratification while weakening your resistance. Nobody wants to admit it, but it's the harsh reality. But masturbation influences your character in ways you might not even realize. And do you know what's most disturbing? That many people remain stuck in that cycle, unaware of why they feel weaker, more exhausted, more insecure with each day. Diogenes didn't stay silent, and neither should you. Because what follows is a truth that can be painful, but also awakening for anyone willing to listen. Diogenes understood that the true struggle isn't in the body, but in the mind. Because what starts as a physical act can evolve into a psychological pattern that shapes how you confront your life. It's not merely about the act itself, but what it signifies. It's about succumbing immediately to desire, the inability to wait, the instinct to numb discomfort instead of learning to endure it. He called this slavery disguised as pleasure. The frightening and captivating truth is that this habit trains your brain to fail quietly. Every time you give in to the urge, you practice weakness. You reinforce the idea that your will is powerless, that desire dominates, and that obedience is inevitable. And if you think about it, there is no greater defeat than that. To lose sovereignty over yourself. That's why when you aim for bigger goals, like staying disciplined, speaking publicly, or making a radical life change, you often feel powerless. It's not some magic. It's the result of your habits. A mind conditioned to seek easy solutions can no longer handle the tough. Here's the most uncomfortable truth few want to face. The brain functions like a muscle. What you train grows stronger. What you neglect weakens. If you focus on instant gratification, your mind becomes a slave that constantly demands the same quick fix. A fleeting moment of pleasure, quick relief, a way to escape pain. Yet in doing so, something essential is lost, something Diogenes fought fiercely to protect. Inner freedom. What's the point of living in a free world if your mind is shackled to a secret gesture you perform unconsciously? The irony is, we believe no one sees. We assume it remains a private matter, hidden in our intimacy. But human psychology has a cruel way of revealing what we try to conceal. Your eyes grow more uncertain, your energy diminishes, and your presence weakens. It's as if your body silently screams what you desperately try to hide. Others, even if they don't consciously realize it, pick up on it. That sense that something within you doesn't quite fit isn't random. It's the mirror of your unresolved inner conflicts. The harsh truth is that while you believe it only affects your private moments, it actually seeps into your relationships, influences how you work, and hampers your ability to lead. Diogenes would have put it plainly. If you are a slave in your intimacy, you cannot be truly free in the public. And here lies the uncomfortable truth that no one wants to face. Masturbation doesn't stay confined to a dark room. It can become a way of life where weakness is masked as normalcy. If you've made it this far, part of you already knows this. Deep down, you feel you're losing more than you're gaining. That unease you try to push aside is the only warning signal still active within you. If you silence it, what awaits isn't pleasure, but a hollow emptiness. That emptiness isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a persistent void that can consume you if left unchecked. It's silent training toward apathy. At first, it appears as a simple feeling of exhaustion or a lack of motivation. But gradually, it becomes a constant presence, a dull gray cloud that settles over your mind. The strange part is that you don't connect it to the habit causing it, because it hides behind many disguises. You might think it's stress, or a lack of purpose, or just routine, but in truth, it's the unseen toll of repeated surrender. What almost no one realizes is that this practice shapes how you perceive and process reality itself. You become accustomed to escaping discomfort with quick fixes, and unconsciously, you start applying this pattern to all areas of life. You avoid tough conversations, delay crucial decisions, and distract yourself when focus is needed. The cycle is seamless. You train your mind to run away, and then wonder why your life feels stagnant. Diogenes, who despised society's facades, understood this well. Human beings become what they repeatedly do, and if your habit is surrendering to impulse, your entire character is built on fragility. That's why when you face a real challenge, the voice in your head doesn't push you to fight. It pulls you toward escape. That escape is often the same, returning to the act that weakens you. Here's the surprising part. What you believe frees you actually programs you. Masturbation isn't neutral. It's a language your brain learns as normal. Each time you feel tension, you teach it that surrender is the answer. Do you see the danger? It's not just a private habit. It's the foundation of a lifestyle that gradually erodes your ability to endure pain. To truly embrace effort and create something genuine, there's an unsettling truth. The more you practice, the more you feed the illusion that you're in control of the process. You tell yourself, I can stop anytime I want. But the paradox is that this thought only arises when control is lost. Genuine control isn't proclaimed, it's shown through action. If you find yourself needing to justify, the chain of illusion is already in place. Diogenes laughed at the world because he saw clearly what others hid. Modern man is willing to sacrifice everything just to avoid confronting himself. Perhaps that is the deepest darkness of all. We don't fear loneliness itself. We fear truly seeing ourselves when no one is around. That's why we cling to distractions, gestures that hide the reflection in the inner mirror. But that mirror remains, waiting for the moment you dare to face it without masks. Will you summon the courage to look? Or will you continue to shut down your will each night, convincing yourself it's just an innocent game? The most unsettling part is that it doesn't just impact your mind. It also reshapes how you see others. You begin to view human relationships through a warped lens. People no longer appear as whole individuals with stories, feelings, and secrets, but as fragments of a puzzle your craving tries to force together. Intimacy turns into a hollow echo because your brain has adapted to crave instant gratification rather than meaningful bonds. And when the true moment arrives to confront love or genuine desire, you realize you have no idea how to maintain it. The harshest consequence is this: when you train your mind to favor the artificial, the genuine feels too slow, too intricate, too challenging. As a result, you avoid vulnerability, shy away from intimacy, and seek refuge in what you can control. Yet in that illusion of control, you lose the essential, the capacity to surrender to an experience that can transform you, even if you cannot dominate it. Diogenes would mock our age, for we have exchanged authenticity for simulations, presence for images, real experience for screens. And here emerges a fascinating point. Masturbation, beyond its physical aspect, reflects how we live now. We crave instant gratification, avoiding patience, struggle, or effort. We seek pleasure without risk, commitment without depth, intensity without meaning. It perfectly symbolizes a society afraid of sacrifice, yet lamenting a lack of purpose. How can you discover meaning if you constantly train your mind to avoid discomfort? The effects extend further, eroding your relationship with time. You waste hours you will never get back, losing valuable moments that could be spent on growth or connection. But more seriously, you lose sight of what it truly means to invest in yourself. Discipline no longer has a place in your life because every time you should be building something meaningful, you instead waste your energy in seconds on instant gratification. And when you finally realize this, a devastating question hits you. What could I have achieved if I had channeled all that strength into creating, learning, and growing? Now that we've come this far, before we move forward, I want to share something important with you. Our book, The Formula of Awakening, is now available. Do you sense that something within you is eager to awaken, yet you're unsure where to begin? I invite you to shift your mindset, and in doing so, transform your way of living. Uncover the potential of who you can become. Start today. The link to download the ebook is in the first pinned comment of this video. Get your copy now at an excellent price. With that in mind, let's move forward with the video. Diogenes, from his barrel, would have let out a fierce laugh upon witnessing how modern man self-destructs while convinced he is truly free. Because no slavery is worse than the one masked as choice. And here is the truth. No one,